Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I'm going to jump right into it. And I'm going to start with a topic that I talked about heavily the last couple videos, and I'm going to close that topic out with this video. So many of you know I did a video discussing, like I have been many times, my views on why we should have a city manager in Pittsfield. I talked about where I feel like we could be a lot more fiscally responsible in the city of Pittsfield. And one of the terms I used was trimming the fat. And when I did that, a former city councilor, a former Ward 4 city councilor by the name of Mike Ward, chimed in that conversation through the comment thread, and it got a little heated. And the last video I did, I talked about it even more in detail, just in the beginning. Well, since then, our former Ward 4 city councilor, Mike Ward, and I had a conversation. We finally got to talk, and a good conversation for about an hour, hour and a half. And it's a lot different when you're actually able to speak with somebody and it's not just through comments. And basically we were able to get a better understanding of where each other were coming from and move forward. And on a personal level, we had a lot in common. So it was a very healthy and productive conversation, and moving forward from there, I think Mike is somebody that I can even reach out to now with questions. So if I have any, that he'd be able to answer. And it's a perfect example of coming together in this community, because we see these political divides, and it just has been continuing in this community, like everywhere, but I don't care what happens everywhere. I care what happens here. A lot of you know that I stressed on that when I hear politicians say, yeah, but over there it's worse, or over here it's a national epidemic, or this or that. I don't care about that stuff. I really don't. You have to focus on what's happening in your own backyard. And even if Mike and I end up disagreeing on several things, that was a good, healthy, productive conversation. And he treated me with the same respect that I treat people. And that's all you can ask from anybody. So we put all that heatedness behind us and moved forward. And that's what you need to do. That's what you should expect from your elected officials. And once you're a politician, even after you leave office, you're always a politician. You're always going to be in that. Every single one. You can go back through history. Doesn't matter if they were a town alderman or on a select board or a city councilor. When someone passes away, you'll see it in their obituary. It's with them right to the end. So, you expect a certain etiquette. And I have a pretty healthy relationship with all our city councilors, with all our city politicians, except for the mayor. The mayor is one of those people, she will not, in my personal opinion, based off of my own experience, if she doesn't like something you've said about her, that's it. You're cut off. She won't speak to you. Another good example, and I would gladly speak to Mayor Tyre at any time. I have nothing personally against her. I've tried reaching out several times over the past few years, and I've kind of given up on that. I was told by her husband that there's no way she will ever talk to me. You have to look at when politicians do that, they're making it about themselves. And you can't be that way in politics. It has to be about what's in the best interest of the community. And that's why I appreciate so much that Mike Ward and I finally were able to connect, because I didn't want that to run away and get people pinned against each other with that post. And it didn't. And I will continue to be. As I said in the last video, I'm very, very protective of this page, and I'm very protective of the followers of this page, because I know how much value you've given to events, to things we've done. People have come out, and I'm counting on a lot of you to come out this coming Saturday for a trash pickup we're doing. And there's a video running on that, but it's a trash pickup I'm doing with Dasheen Moore, from Beat the Streets, the Beat the Streets program in Pittsfield. We're meeting at the Old Friends Bar on Seymour Street. and we're doing from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. a trash pickup, and I'm counting on as many of you as possible to show up for that. It's going to be chilly, absolutely. It'll be a chilly morning, but it'll be sunny and nice other than the cold temperatures. But anyway, you know, it's about community. It's about bringing people together, and there is a responsibility on elected officials to do that. There's a responsibility with the mayor to, like, you take the situation with Ward 4, okay, the cell tower. The mayor has to this day refused to speak to those people. Refused to. I see posts all the time from that group, and they've tagged the mayor several times. Every time I speak with them in person, have you still got a chance to speak to the mayor? She will not even talk to them. And that is all that does is make the situation worse. Even if she disagrees with them on the issue, you take the time to have a conversation. You treat them with respect. You can disagree, but at least take the time to have a conversation. Don't ignore them. When you see a politician acting like that, they're making it about themselves. When you see, you know, the fighting with each other, this one should have won this one, or this one's a pawn for this one, or, you know, I've gotten roped into that at times. It is unhealthy, and all it does is continue to divide the community. Period. So you have to ask yourself, when a politician, definitely during an election season, and you see them working in groups or endorsing each other, and they tell you things like, ooh, watch out for this one. If they know you're a registered Democrat, and they tell you, oh, don't vote for this one, they're a diehard Republican. Or if they see that you're a registered Republican and they say, oh, don't vote for this one, they're a diehard Democrat. And they start throwing those type of things at you. For one, it should be insulting to anybody that hears that, because they're questioning your own ability to think for yourself. And they're not talking about issues. They're trying to put people in categories and pen you against each other. Never buy into that. That's why I don't like sitting politicians endorsing each other. I don't like it. I don't feel like it's right. It doesn't help. How's it helping anything? Especially in city politics, with city councilors and that type, where you're supposed to be there to represent your ward, or if you're an at-large councilor, represent, you know, the city as a whole. But on city issues, streets, potholes, taxes, trees limbs down, sidewalks, everyday stuff that affects the everyday lives of everyone, regardless of your political stance with any of the national partisan nightmare. So, you know, keep that in mind. It's about unity. It's about bringing people together. It's about serving the public, not self-service, not talking about how many elections you've won for how many years and you have all the answers. One of these days I'm going to break this desk. But that's what it has to be about. And remind yourself, when you see that, and when you see the division, and you see how people try to feed into that, when you see people make a post that this counselor is a pawn for this person, ask yourself, where's that anger coming from? Because how is anger being part of the solution? It isn't. It never will be. It never will be. It does no service to anyone. So anyway, thank you again to Mike Ward for taking the time, and we spoke, and I'm glad to have Mike participate in this page. He's been a follower for a long time. That was the first time we've ever had anything like that happen, and we hashed it out within a couple days. So it was a healthy conversation, and we're moving forward. And Mike, I hope you have the time this coming Saturday to show up for that trash pickup, 10 a.m. at the Old Friends Bar parking lot on Seymour Street. It's just an hour and a half. It's going to be nice weather. I'm begging everyone to show up for that. This is an important one. It really is, because it's not just about picking up the trash. It's about community coming together. And I can't wait to get a nice group picture of all of us together at the end. And I can't wait to meet some new people and see some new faces and move forward. And the next thing we're doing, and I will get it up as soon as I can, is I'm putting together some volunteer groups to do sidewalk clearing, specifically for our senior citizens and our disabled folks in the community who really need that. It's been a big issue for years and years, and that's what we want to do. So I'm going to reach out to some of our local businesses. I'm trying to get some shovels and some things donated, and on the website and on the pages, I'm going to put a sign-up list so people who need that can contact me, and we'll get you on a list so we can get your sidewalks cleared during snowstorms. And last but not least, is the business tour. That'll be kicking in full steam ahead starting next week. I have quite a few businesses on the list for that already. So if you own a Pittsfield business and you want to be featured, it's similar to what I did during the tour over the summer with Mark Tully for our bars, taverns, and pubs. And it's just highlighting the businesses and what you offer. And this business tour is a lot more broad. It's for any Pittsfield business. So unlike the bar tour, it's not specific to any industry. So if you own a Pittsfield business and you'd like to be featured on It's Pittsfield Tonight, just direct message the page. And I will also be putting a GoFundMe up for that. So anyone who can help with that, the more money we raise, the more businesses I can do. Because it costs money to boost those and get those videos seen, and then just the production of putting them together. So anything you can give. There's 7,025 followers on this page. If everyone just gave $5 or $10, we'd be in really good shape. I'd be able to cover every single business in the city. But anyway, I'll be putting that GoFundMe up very shortly. And I have some great interviews coming up. One coming up with Wayne Soares. Wayne is a national figure, really. He's an actor, comedian. He was with ESPN Radio for, I guess, for several years. But there's a big event coming up at the Proprietor's Lodge on December 11th that Wayne will be part of, and it's benefiting homeless and disabled veterans. He's a huge advocate for veterans. And I'm excited to talk to Wayne about that. I'll be putting that up tomorrow. I have another one coming up with Donna Hanson about the event they're doing. I think it's called like Light the Bells or something like that. But it's a really exciting thing they're doing from Thanksgiving up until Christmas. And I'll be going over that in a video with Donna the day after that. So again, I'm really excited about that. And Jason Marby, who hosts the comedy shows in Pittsfield, they're free at Otto's. There's one coming up this Friday, but I'll be talking to Jay about those. So there's a lot coming up. There's a lot on the table. So that is it for now. Thank you again to Mike Ward, and I will catch all of you up tomorrow.